The next exercise we're looking at is one-note triplet timing. You have the exercise here, video tutorial coming soon. I'm going to be uploading that momentarily, obviously. And then you have the practice track records exercises. So the quarter note is at 120 for the first two, and then it speeds up to 132 for the next two. I highly recommend that you practice with that, and that if you're a battery candidate, that you're working with your feet and marking time. And then, of course, you have the assignment down here. Probably the trickiest part about this exercise in terms of getting it lined up with your feet is this offbeat triplet measure. And as long as you realize that the second beat and the fourth beat line up with your hands and feet, then you can learn that rhythm, the rest followed by the left hand triplet. You can learn kind of how that works together with your feet and isolate it. So, as with most of these exercises, I would say that breaking it down bit at a time is really going to help your success rate there. Okay, so I'm going to get into the explanation now. One note triplet timing is very similar to one note 16th note timing in that the flow is so important to the exercise. Obviously, understanding the rhythms is a huge part of understanding the timing, but the flow of your hands can actually really make a huge difference. So I'm going to circle or bracket the fours here. All right, and unlike most 4-2-1 exercises, we can't break this one down into fours, twos, and ones. So we just do fours, and we do those twice. All right, and then we have the ones, or sorry, we have the twos, and we do those twice as well. All right, so this exercise starts with a measure of alternating triplets followed by isolating just the right hands. Then we have a measure of alternating triplets followed by isolating just the left hands. It's really, really critical that you don't stop the right hands coming out of these triplets, that you let them keep flowing. And it feels pretty natural and easy. But then here, when you get to the triplets, same idea. You do not stop the left hands so that you can keep the left hands flowing. It's also really important to understand where the beat is, right? It's pretty easy to know when you're playing the triplets. But then on beat 1 and then beat 3, our feet are going to line up with our hands, but where the beat actually lies here is somewhere in between this second and third triplet is where the other beat lives. So when you're playing with your feet, you actually create this sort of Carol of the Bells melody, right? So my right hand's playing one la li, one li la, but with our feet, right, you end up creating that rhythm. All right, so that's pretty easy to see and understand once you get rolling, but the left hands are pretty tricky. So here's beat 1, and then beat 2, of course, lines up with that second left hand. And then here's beat 3, right? And then beat 4 lines up with that left hand. So what I would recommend practicing is, we did this the other day where you're just keeping time with your hand, and then you just play that second partial, which is, if we count our triplets 1 la li, that's 1 la 2, 1 la 2, 1 la 2, 3 la 4, 1 la 2. And then all you have to do is fill in that last note. 1 la 2 li, la 4 li, la 2 li, la 4 li. All right, so it is pretty tricky compared to most of the rhythms that we have to look at in these exercises to really understand that. But if you focus on getting beat 2 and beat 4 to line up, those are going to be your right feet, if you're marking time, to line up with those notes. It's going to make a huge difference. So again, in terms of pitfalls of this exercise, not letting your sticks flow, and then not understanding how this timing works of measures 3 and 4. So I would really focus on breaking those down into small chunks like I just explained, and then practicing measures 3 and 4 kind of repeatedly, and then making sure you understand how the twos work as well. But overall, I think that this is also a great exercise because a lot of us are not as comfortable in triplets, so this is one to help get you comfortable pretty quickly. It is really critical that you understand the stickings, so all alternating for the triplets, and then all right hands for the second bar, all alternating for the triplets, and then all left hands for that fourth bar. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments section. But at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Adam, who's going to do a run through of one note triplet timing.